welcome to day 25 of our Road to Easter devotions. My name is Di. The title for today's devotion is called Remember Me, and the reading is from Luke 23 verses 39 to 43. One of the criminals hanging beside Jesus scoffed, "So you're the Messiah, are you? Prove it by saving yourself, and us too while you're at it." But the other criminal protested, "Don't you even fear God when you are dying? We deserve to die for our evil deeds, but this man hasn't done one thing wrong." And then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus replied, "Today you will be with me in paradise. This is a solemn promise." I'm sure we all would like to be remembered with love and affection after we're gone, hoping that people will think on the good things and not dwell too much on the things about us that weren't quite so great. I wonder how the crowd gathered around those crosses at Calvary would remember the criminals who were being crucified alongside Jesus. Perhaps, having read the list of their crimes, they would remember them with contempt or disgust. Or maybe they would remember the sight of them nailed to crosses and recall their obvious agony and humiliation and think of them with pity. Who knows? The account of the crucifixion in the book of Mark says that both the criminals joined with the crowd in hurling insults at Jesus. But in this account, Luke tells us that one of them seems to have had a change of heart. The man talks about fearing God and acknowledges he was receiving fair punishment for his crimes, but Jesus, the man says, has done nothing wrong. And then he turns to Jesus and makes a simple, heartfelt and very personal request. "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." He didn't use any fancy words. He wasn't in a position to offer Jesus anything. He just asked Jesus to remember him. The crowd looked at the cross and saw a convicted criminal receiving a terrible punishment for his crimes. But Jesus could see what no one else could. The crowd saw a man hanging from a cross in shame. Jesus looked into the man's heart and saw a man knelt humbly before a king. The crowd saw a man unable to move because of the nails driven through his hands and feet. But Jesus, looking into his heart, saw a man with hands held out, asking for mercy. And how did Jesus respond to the man's request? Well, not judging, not condemning. No, he told the man, "Today you will be with me in paradise." He promised him not just rest and peace in death, but eternity in paradise with him. And so at that moment, that man experienced the overwhelming grace of God. This passage tells us that God doesn't see us the way the world sees us. He sees into our hearts. And when we turn to him, with all our weaknesses and shortcomings hanging around us, and acknowledging him as King, he responds with love and compassion and grace. He promises us too the gift of life spent in paradise with him, not because of anything we have done, but because of what he has done through Jesus. I'd like to think that the criminal spent the last moments of his earthly life not listening to the jeers and insults of the crowd, but instead hearing over and over the voice of Jesus making that promise to him, which surely must have filled him with wonder and hope for the life yet to come. While I was preparing this devotion, I heard for the first time a version of the song "Who Am I?" sung by Casting Crowns. I found it incredibly moving because it seemed to me that the words could have been coming straight from the mouth of that criminal on the cross. Why not listen to the song yourself and let the words sink in? You'll find a link in the description below. What's your response to such an amazing gift of grace? Thanks so much for listening today. I hope you'll join us again tomorrow.